So the Met Gala was last night and I was looking at all the images and I have to say Gigi Hadid looked very, very beautiful. So I'm going to try to recreate that look today. The makeup was done by Patrick Tar. I don't know what products were used, but I'm just going to play with the products that I have. So I'm going to start off with the Janessa Myrix. This is the Yummy Skin Universal. I'm going to scoop some of that out and then work that over my skin. Just to give my skin a really nice canvas. I think this one feels different to a lot of the balms. I'm not keen on a balm because I feel like it feels like you're putting Vaseline all over your face. This one doesn't feel like that. I like it. My skin is not tacky afterwards. I'm going to take this Suku foundation. This one is in 025. I've been wearing this for the past week and I really like it. I use a brush to apply that. So I think it looks a tiny bit yellow when I first put it on. But as soon as I pop other products with it, it just evens itself out. Do ignore that I'm putting the foundation over my eyebrows as well. I'm just brushing a little bit of the product over them purely because I'm in the process of having them removed, the microblading, and they're a little bit orange at the moment. So I'm just going to run that over the top so the orange isn't coming through. I'm going later this week to have my second removal done. So I've done my foundation first because it just makes my skin look a little bit more even for when I do the eyes. It also gives the foundation a chance to kind of work into my skin, set and become part of my skin. I'm going to do a lot more to the base after I've done eyes. I'm just taking an Hourglass micro sculpting brow pencil and I'm just using the spoolie to brush it through first. This is called the Arch pencil and I'm using it in soft brunette. I'm just going to get the shape underneath the brow first. It's quite a nice shape, this pencil. I'm going to take a little bit of Surratt brow pomade and just brush upwards, just so those brows stay in place. This one has like a toothbrush end to it, so it's just brushing them through softly. I don't want them to look too stuck up brows, if you know what I mean. Just want them to look flattering, soft and flattering. I'm just going to take a little bit of this Bare Minerals Gen Nude Primer over my eyes. This is in the colour Turned Up. Just to give me my first step of blank canvas. Not everyone will need this step, but I have quite high pigment to my eyes. Over the top of that, I'm going to go in with a dusting of MAC White Pigment. And that's going all over the lid and right up to the brow. And then a little bit of Victoria Beckham Chiffon eyeshadow, just to kind of create this goldy tone over the top of what was almost silver. This is a lid luster. And what it's creating is the effect of a pearl, so a little bit opaque. I think these products are easier to use with your finger. But when you use your finger, you then have to make sure you wipe the surface of them every so often because they will get a little bit oily. So it's creating this silver with a gold hue to it. NARS High Pigment Longwear Liner in the top waterline. And then Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes Liner in black along the top. Out quite straight. I'm just going to rest my eyes for a minute before I do the point in the inner corner. After doing liner and concentrating so much, sometimes my eyes just need a little bit of blinking time because I don't want them to water. I'm going to go in with a little bit of eyeshadow. I've got this Tarte palette. You don't have to use a whole palette because I'm only going to use one eyeshadow. I just want one this sort of stony brown colour, and I just want to pop that just through here. Just to add a little something through the socket. You could use a bronzer if you prefer. But I'm going for this because I don't want too much warmth, and sometimes a bronzer can have a bit more warmth. And that's just going to give me a little something through the socket bone. And now I think I'm ready to do the point. So I'm just going to take this a little bit further in here. This is a really nice eyeliner because it stays put well. You want to make sure the eye is facing as much the opposite direction to get, you know, you get those little lines in the eye there. You want to make sure it's really pointing that way to do the line, so you don't get those little ridgedy lines when you're doing your liner. You know what I mean. It's quite hard to do so you can see it on the camera and film it here. It's quite difficult. I'm going to pop some MAC Stack mascara on and see what we're working with. I'm going to leave the eyes for a minute and come back to them. I'm going to take a little bit of Milk Hydro Grip and Set spray just to wake up my foundation. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Tarte. This is light beige Shape Tape. Chin, under eyes, nose, jawbone. Maybe a tiny bit here as well. I'm going to take the same brush that I use for foundation and just buff that in. A little bit of Mario's Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick. Just buff that in. I'm going to take a little bit of MAC Extended Play and just pop that on the bottom lashes. Not much. And then I'm actually going to pinch some of that away, because that's even just too much. On the lip, a little bit of this Givenchy Beige Mousse line. Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude, just a little bit around, and to make that a bit more of a point. I'm going to take my concealer and just swap a little bit in here. I was going to use MAC Hue, but it's a little bit pink. Oh, this reminds me of growing up. If you weren't in the toilets putting concealer on your lips, you weren't anyone. Concealer on your lips and bronzer everywhere. My friend had a brush that was so matted and flat. I was like, how are you even using that? I'm going to take a little bit of the Shiseido gloss over the top. She hasn't got a gloss on, but it's going to wear in and won't look like a gloss. It's just they look too matte at the moment. Very small amount. Just to add some moisture back to my lips, really. I need to warm up my cheeks a little bit, so I've got a little bit of this glowish O2 Medium Soft Radiance Bronzing Powder by Huda. I just want to take that just to give me a little bit of something. A little bit of life back. I'm going to take a little bit of my Tarte Fake Away and just run that through my brow. She definitely has something that's lifted the brows here. And this has a really cool little plastic end to it for smudging, which I like a lot. And then in with a tiny little pearl under the eye. I don't have a pearl, so I'm going to use a fake diamond. My daughter's been doing one of those things where we're doing it together, where you kind of create a picture using the gems. So I said, oh, keep those gems. You never know when I might need them. Today is that day. So I'm going to take a little bit of my duo glue. Just dab it there and there. And take my little gem. Put on. Do you know what's really bugging me though? Is that my eyes are quite long, so my liners come out a lot longer. Hers is much shorter. So I might have to change it. I might have to try and tweak my liner so it goes up a little bit more here and not out so much. It's great for that shot that she did, but not great for a shot that is the visual front on shape, so I may have to change it. just because it's annoyed me. Then I'm going to change it and I'll come back and film the change at the end. I'm just going to take away this bit and move it up a little bit. There you go. I just tweaked the liner so it's not quite as long, it's just a little bit shorter, which is more straight on what she looks like, whereas from the side, because my eyes are a different shape, it doesn't look as straight and long. It's just different shape eyes. So I've just taken the length, made it a bit shorter. So there you have the finished look. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it's another long one, but actually I'm not sorry. I enjoy doing them long and I enjoy chatting and explaining and having fun with makeup.